Hi, I'm Jacob. Before we get into it, hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date. Today I'm talking about the 52-week money challenge and the life lessons I learnt from participating in this challenge. So the 52-week money challenge is a savings plan where you put away money each week to the corresponding week of the year. So in week 1, for example, you put away $1, week 2, $2, and so on all the way through to week 52 and $52. That's the ascending option. There are actually 2 other ways that are really good at doing this challenge. Putting away $52 in week 1, $51 in week 2, all the way down to $1 in week 52, which is a descending option. And that's the best option if you find it hard to find money around Christmas time. And the third option is the average, which is where you take 26, the average for the weeks, and you put away $26 each week. Now this really intrigued me, this challenge, but it didn't really inspire me. And I thought to myself, what would happen if I put away the same amount but with a 0 on the end each week? So that would mean in week 1 putting away $10, week 2 $20, all the way through to week 52 and $520. Now that scared me a little bit, but it also really inspired me, because at the end of that I would have saved $13,780 as opposed to $1,378. So that didn't really inspire me, but the $13,000 certainly did. I didn't know how I was going to be able to save that amount of money, particularly in the second half of the year, but I thought to myself, who cares? Don't worry about that. Take it 1 week at a time and see what happens, which is what I did. So in month 1, I put away $10 in week 1, $20 in week 2, and so on. Up until about the 3rd month, it was fairly easy. And come the 3rd month, things started to pick up and get really difficult. And at the end of that 6 months, I'd saved $3,510. And it was at that point that I come up against a really difficult obstacle. And that obstacle was some bills that came in. So throughout the process, I was so excited about putting that money away each week that I didn't want to spend it. I didn't want to touch it. And I had a goal in mind at the end that I was going to spend that money on. And that was a nice little holiday over to the US to watch a Super Bowl. Now that really inspired me. But with these bills that came through, I had to use the money. I had no choice. I had to pay these bills, and I had no other way of paying them. So I was very, very grateful, although a little bit disappointed, that I had that money to be able to save. At the end of it though, having $3,510 was better than having the $1,378 at the end of the year. So I was really excited about that. I was going to, at the end of that process, not start again until the next year. And I was talking to a friend, and they said to me, well, if the start of the year is the best time to start it, then starting mid-year is probably your second best time to start it. And that's what I did. It changed my thinking, which had become very rigid in how you perform this challenge best. And I was going to waste 6 months and $3,510 worth of savings just because I believed that was the way that the challenge worked. So what I did from week 27 was I started it again with $10 in week 27, $20 in week 28, and so on. Now this created some really valuable lessons for life. The first one was commit to 1 week at a time. Just commit to doing what you need to do that week. Don't worry about what's going to happen the next week, and certainly don't worry about what's going to happen at the end, because for now, that doesn't matter. We're not there. It doesn't matter what's going to happen down there, and so much can happen in between those spaces. So committing to 1 week at a time and just focusing on keeping my focus there with what can I save this week? What do I need to do? What do I need to do to find that money for this week? And that then built momentum. And with momentum behind me, it was a real driving force to get me through to that 6 months. The second one is to stretch yourself. So find goals that really stretch you and scare you, but also really inspire you. So this was a goal that did scare me, but it also really inspired me to find a way to make it happen. The third one was be flexible in your thinking. Don't be too rigid in the way you think. Don't think that this is the way it's always been or this is the way it has to be. Just think to yourself, how else can this work? Always be open-minded. And the last one is money comes and goes. Money will come, money will go, but at the end of the day, it's always there. So the next time you have to spend some money, kiss that money goodbye and say to yourself, there's plenty more where that came from, because I guarantee you there is a lot of money out there, and it's up to you to go and get it. Okay, so how would you spend $13,780 right now if you had that at the end of the year. Share your answer in the comments section, and if you found value in this video, please like it and please share it with your friends. Again, I'm Jacob. Thank you for joining me in today's video.